Hey there, Transformers fans. Here I am again with a look at another one of the figures that I've customized. This time taking a look at Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe-class Crosshairs. Now this guy was actually one of the easier figures that I've repainted or touched up because he really didn't need an entire paint overhaul on him. You know, he really just needed like touch-ups and accents and some detail work and things like that. So he really wasn't all that difficult compared to some of the full repaints that I've done. But the touch-ups that I have done on him have made a huge difference in terms of how he looks. Now, before I get into the specifics of each of the different things that I've done to him, one of my good buddies, my collector buddy Dave, was kind enough to let me borrow his crosshairs that has not been touched up yet. So you can see sort of a side-by-side on what the original deco looked like versus what I've done. So there you can kind of see the original, obviously, here on the left, and then my version on the right. So not drastic, but certainly, you know, a lot more detail in terms of the silvers and the metallics, a little bit of detail on the head and in the legs. Weapons obviously have been painted. This guy, I don't have his guns, but they were just basic black. But really, I mean, it's all in the details that really makes the difference with some of these figures, because there's an awful lot of sculpting and molding on them that doesn't always pop if they just mold it all in the same plastic and don't add the paint. So one of the things that I'm going to show is that there is a lot of detail work on his arm. Like there's some gauges there. Over here, you know, it looks like there's parts of the dashboard that are supposed to be molded into his arm. Well, unless you actually put the paint on it, you can't really see it. So here you can see I've added the paint work, a little bit of gunmetal gray, and I use all of the paints that I used on this guy are acrylic, just added by brush, hand painted and brushed. So gunmetal, flat gunmetal with some silver accents on there as well, just to bring out the detail. All of it on his arms too. One of the other things that I did was, in order to make him a little bit more movie accurate, you can kind of see this piece here on his chest is just molded in black. Well, if you look at the character model, it should be green. So I painted it green. Unfortunately, the stock Tamiya green, I think it's like forest green or something like that, matched almost perfectly. So I didn't even have to mix in any, you know, either black or white to change the shade of it. It just came out really, really nice. And you can kind of see on his legs, the original just has all black plain plastic. So I made that all gunmetal, and just sort of moving his little flap out of the way of his trench coat, you can see I added a little silver bit in there, and then a little bit of green on his hip as well, which the stock one doesn't have. And then on his legs, if you look at the character model on the screen, you can see he's kind of got some red on his legs there, which the original, you know, they left that unpainted. And then his feet as well are pretty drastically changed. Added some green and some silver to make them more accurate. Looking a little bit closer at the head itself, you can kind of see the original doesn't have his kind of funky goggles, targeting goggles painted. So what I did was I just added a little bit of gunmetal to the goggles themselves, and then a red and a blue dot to mimic what he looked like in the movie. And then a little bit of detail work on the body itself. There's some, like, you know, it looks like hydraulic posts and stuff in there that weren't really detailed on the original figure, so I just added a little bit of silver in there to make them pop. One other thing that I'm going to show you is I did a little bit of changes to the vehicle mode, but not really very much at all. And I'm not going to transform it because you can see all the changes I did without having to actually transform it. But you can see the Corvette logo on the front there, the original not painted. Mine now has the little bit of red and white on it to make it look more accurate. And then on the back, I added you know, quite a bit of detail in there. You know, painted the logo, painted in the tail lights, painted in a little bit of silver around the exhaust pipes, and it just makes the detail work pop a little bit more. So overall, yeah. So this guy wasn't really all that time consuming or difficult to paint. You know, it's probably a good one for if you're just getting started. You know, this guy would be you know, a good tester, because it's, you know, not a lot of you know, fine detail work that needs to be done. It's pretty simple. All of the molding is there. You just need to use the right colors, which are easy to obtain. Lots of silvers, lots of grays, and then basic red, green, blue. That's really all you need for this guy. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the end result. You know, he looks pretty cool on the shelf now that he's got a little bit more detail work on him. But yeah, that's my look at my custom Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Crosshairs. Hope you enjoy this video. Hope it inspires you to maybe pick up one of your other figures and add a little bit of paint detail work to it to make it look a little bit better, or how you think it should look. So thanks very much for tuning in. I'll be back at you again with another one soon. Have a great day.